Yula Nzale is our sign language interpreter. We begin tonight with a horrific accident in Kericho, in which 10 people died following a road accident involving a 14-seater matatu and a truck at Pangala, Kisumundogo area along the Londiani-Muhoroni Road. Eyewitnesses told Citizen TV that the driver of the truck, which was en route to Londiani, lost control of the vehicle after hitting a pothole. The truck is said to have veered off its lane and collided head-on with the oncoming matatu, which was heading to Kisumu. 9 of the matatu occupants died on the spot, among them the driver, while another passenger succumbed on arrival at the hospital. A police report indicates that 3 survivors, a child and 2 adults, sustained serious injuries, while the truck driver fled the scene of the accident. Both vehicles were extensively damaged. Those who are injured are admitted at St. Vincent Mission Hospital in Muhoroni, and the bodies have been moved to the morgue.
Huyu mwenye lori anataka kutua aje. Deka kidogo nimeona hii lori imefinya Nissan chini. Mama mwingine akalia akaliwoi. Huyu mtu anatua aje, tunapeleka watoto shule.
This head collision ilisababishwa, hii transit ilikuwa inaenda chini na imepatikana upande wa wale ambao wanaenda kuelekea juu. Witness, tuliona bodies more than 13. But we were able to assist wale wengine victims ambao walikuwa na some injuries, wakakimbizwa hospitalini. But watatu.
Tunaumia sana kwa hii barabara. Hii barabara ni mbaya. Sasa magari zinakimbia kombo. Hakuna utaratibu kwa hii barabara. Tunaomba watutengenezie barabara. Barabara ndio mbaya. Hakuna chenye inatusaidia kwa hii barabara. Ajali kila mara. Juzi basi iliua watu hapa.
The High Court has today ordered Acting Inspector General of Police Gilbert Masengeli to appear in court physically on Thursday and provide answers over the disappearance of 2 brothers and an activist. Bob Njagi, Longton Jamil and his brother Aslam Longton were allegedly abducted 2 weeks ago in connection with protests in Kitengela by people believed to be security officers. Amnesty International and Safina Party leader Jimmy Wanjiru have also condemned the abductions and demanded for their release, failure to which they say they will seek legal redress locally and internationally.
Police are killing our people. Police are abducting our people. There's no justice in this country. There's no justice.
Milimani Law Court was the center of drama.
We cannot go like this.
Even before the commencement of a court case, where the Acting Inspector General of Police, Gilbert Masengeli, had been summoned to appear and shed light on the whereabouts of an activist, Bob Njagi, and 2 brothers, Jamil Longton and Aslam Longton, who were abducted 2 weeks ago. Activist Julius Kamau was whisked away minutes after demanding for justice for those killed and abducted during the protests. Fellow activists in the court wore T-shirts and posters with pictures of the 3 missing men. The 3 men were abducted on August 19th over their alleged involvement in protests witnessed in Kitengela, Kajiado County, where they all hail from and have not been seen since. The acting IG was, however, missing in court and was represented by his legal officer, who told the court that Masengeli was out of office on official duties.
There exists an equality file.
An argument that was dismissed by LSK President Faith Odhiambo, who insisted that the IG is in contempt of court and an arrest warrant should be issued.
My Lord, to date they have come before you to make fun of this honorable court by coming to report that the IG is doing other duties. There are more important things than the lives of Kenyans.
Justice Lawrence Mugambi, who had on August 28th directed the IG, DPP, AG, DCI, and NIS to immediately disclose the whereabouts of the 3, has ordered Masengeli to appear physically on Thursday at 10 a.m.
Having failed to obey the 2 court orders, the first respondent equally failed to obey the 3rd one that required him to attend this court this afternoon. The court has teeth and can bite. It will not watch at its authority, and the constitutionalism is slowly being whittled away.
But even with the case in court, the recent cases of abductions have faced backlash from Amnesty International and Safina Party leader Agnes Wanjiru, who have demanded for the release of all those abducted, even as they pursue legal action.
We have to demand, first and foremost, that the 3 men are produced back to their families, and if there are cases against them, that they are brought to court like our Constitution demands.
We must wake up and collectively demand for truth, accountability, and justice. Abductions is becoming a way of life. Extrajudicial killings a way of life.
We are going to seek for redress here in Kenya, and we are also going to invoke universal jurisdiction in countries that have accepted that concept as a means of achieving redress.
Meanwhile, activist Boniface Mwangi and 4 others who had been arrested for allegedly publishing false material, unlawful assembly and creating disturbance have been freed. Gatete Njoroge, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Now, cracks are emerging within the Kenya Post-Primary Education Teachers Union, KUPPET, over the manner in which the 1-week national strike was called off. Several branch leaders have faulted the Secretary General for calling off the strike without consulting them, while the Secretary General maintains that he acted within the union's rules and regulations. Brenda Wanga now reports.
The strike by KUPPET came to an end last evening, and on Tuesday, students who were yet to report made that journey to start their 3rd term of learning this year. But as the students resume learning and seek to recoup lost time, cracks are appearing in the union that called for the first ever KUPPET standalone strike. Branch leaders are taking issue with the manner in which their national leaders announced the end of the strike.
If they were genuine enough, our national officials, they will have informed us early enough that today there will be a meeting that will be done between the union and the Teacher Service Commission, so that we inform our teachers early in the morning that there is a meeting and we expect something to be coming out of that meeting.
The regional leaders say the strike could only have been suspended through the National Governing Council. A meeting of this organ on Sunday resolved to carry on with the strike this week, and the decision to call off the strike by the national leadership was a betrayal to the teachers' cause, they say.
Many are the issues that they thought maybe TSC was going to sit down and listen. We thought we were going to get a better deal, and by yesterday we were shocked after the demonstrations. We got from the media that the strike has been called off. Actually, it's not about calling off the strike, but it is about what is the Kenyan teacher, what is Kericho teacher getting from the strike that we went.
We only heard from the media, from the social media, that the strike has been suspended, and as KUPPET Nyeri branch, we categorically ask our national executive board to facilitate the reforms in the constitution so that we can accommodate some things, because we noted like there is a hitch in our constitution whereby the SG alone can suspend the strike without involving the National Governing Council.
The leaders say the Secretary General, Akelo Misori, erred when he made that announcement on the steps of the employer, TSC. Claims that Misori denies.
Yeah, must show leadership, because in leadership, a bad decision, as in the eyes of many members, is better than no decision. So if I switch off my phone and decide to run away, I have not shown leadership yet. It is me who is mandated. Not everybody has the authority to even issue a strike notice.
Misori maintains that the strike, which lasted for a week, has achieved a considerable portion of the demands it set out to achieve, and that what hasn't been done is in the pipeline.
So whoever is disputing that, let that person, if that fellow is a lady enough, let her come here. If he's man enough, let her also come to tell me. The teachers of this country had already had medical insurance compromise. It is this strike which has brought it from 22 billion, from 11 billion and taken it back to 22 billion.
The union's leadership says in coming to the end of the strike, their legal team will register a legal consent in court on Thursday. That consent, the leadership says, covers all the issues raised in the union's list of grievances, aside from the immediate employment of 46,000 JSS intern teachers on permanent and pensionable terms.
So teachers are asking, why were we asking them to join us in the demonstrations when this was not part of the agenda? TSC has not given any number on how many teachers they intend to promote. That document says they will promote teachers as and when funds are available. So what was the difference between the current situation and the former situation?
Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV.
President William Ruto began his 3-day visit to China with a meeting with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping. The meeting seeks to unlock Chinese funding, which had been frozen. Key infrastructural projects whose funding is sought include the extension of the standard gauge railway into the region and the Rironi-Mau Summit Eldoret-Malaba dual carriageway projects. Willie Lusige reports.
On the first day of his 3-day visit to China for the Third Belt and Road Forum, President William Ruto met with President Xi Jinping at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing.
Good morning, Your Excellency.
President Ruto highlighted Kenya's top priorities, including the extension of the standard gauge railway into the region and the Rironi-Mau Summit Eldoret-Malaba dual carriageway. He emphasized the expanding of the SGR from Naivasha to Uganda, Rwanda, DR Congo, and Congo-Brazzaville will connect the Indian Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean.
The necessity of having this infrastructure is agreed across the region, and it's not a Kenyan project. It is actually a regional project in line with the Belt and Road Initiative of the Chinese government.
Ruto also stressed the importance of the Rironi-Mau Summit Malaba Highway in easing the movement of goods and passengers to Western Kenya and eventually to the region.
I want to thank you for the conclusion of the program on Kenya's rural roads, the intelligence transport system that has now been concluded.
The president thanked the Chinese government for ongoing projects, including the integrated transport system in Nairobi, equipping of the technical and vocational education and training colleges, Bosto Dam, and the dualling of the northern bypass in Nairobi. President Xi Jinping acknowledged the partnership between Kenya and China, which he said had significantly boosted economic and social development in Kenya and in the region. Willie Lusige, Citizen TV.
Economic and social development in the region and bringing benefits to our two.
And now to a story of atrocities allegedly committed by the British Army. The family of the late Agnes Wanjiru has accused the DCI and the DPP of frustrating their quest for justice. While appearing before the Defence Committee, the family's spokesperson Esther Mushiri accuses the Kenyan investigative agencies of being in collusion with the British government to mask the identity of the British soldier who raped and murdered their kin, Agnes Wanjiru, in 2012. The Defence Committee Chair Nelson Koech has pledged to summon the DCI and DPP to appear before the committee. Mary Morki reports.
Thank you. So we will pose questions.
It has been an agonizing 12 years for the family of Agnes Wanjiru, the 21-year-old who was allegedly murdered by a British Army officer under the British Army Training Unit in Kenya, Batuk, in 2012. Appearing before the Defence Committee on Tuesday, an emotional Esther Mushiri, who is Wanjiru's niece and also the family's spokesperson, accused the Director of Public Prosecutions and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations of frustrating the family's efforts to get justice for their kin.
This issue of DCI, because the investigations are still unfinished, because that is what they have been telling us, and of which I don't think it is so. I think that's why the UK always hides, saying that the investigation are still going on, so they feel like they are not answerable because the Kenyan government are the one responsible for the investigation. We are asking you as the community, please, to help us. Even you push the DPP to ask for the extradition of that soldier.
The Defence Committee that is currently conducting an inquiry into the conduct of British Army Training Unit in Kenya in Laikipia and Samburu counties heard first-hand accounts of the frustrations the family of Agnes Wanjiru and others has undergone in the hands of both the Kenyan and the British governments.
You can imagine being told that you can go to UK to petition so that you can get justice just because you are poor. And I ask, when is it our fate to be poor?
Kelvin Kubai, the family's advocate, questioned why, despite the courts issuing exhumation orders to get DNA samples from the deceased, the UK government has failed to match the retrieved DNA to the database of the officers in Kenya who were training at the time Wanjiru was killed.
The British Army has been getting away with almost everything. They can get away with rape, they can get away with murder, they can get away with development, and so this pattern has to end. And we have to hold them accountable for the sake of our people.
Out of political good manners and good relations between the British and Kenya, can they contribute to that victim protection fund so that then all the identified victims can be supported through that fund, so that we do not have to deal with the two issues between the British and Kenya? Colonialism and neocolonialism, because this would be a form of neocolonialism.
Mary Mwoki, Citizen TV.
Ugandan athlete Rebecca Cheptegei is fighting for her life at the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, with doctors reporting that the Olympian suffered 80% burns. The mother of two was to the 1st of July. In a circular signed by Public Service Principal Secretary Amos Gathecha, civil servants will also receive higher house allowances. Stephen Leto reports.
According to the new structure, which covers the second phase of collective bargaining agreement, the lowest cadre within the civil service, whose current pay is 16,910 shillings, will now go home with a new pay of 18,250 shillings. Equally, those earning 19,220 shillings per month will now receive 20,560 shillings, effective July 1st, 2024. In a deal brokered between Public Service Cabinet Secretary Justin Muturi and representatives from the Workers' Union, government employees who have been taking home 23,700 shillings will also see changes in their pay slips. For the higher job groups, the increment has also been effected. Civil servants earning 102,860 shillings per month will now take home 105,570 shillings per month. Those earning 125,630 shillings per month will now find 127,340 shillings in their bank accounts. The first phase of the CBA was implemented from July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024.
We have been engaged both with the Salaries and Remuneration Commission and the Public Service Commission and the National Treasury. The National Treasury has agreed to provide resources for the payment of civil servant salaries as per the terms contained in the collective bargaining agreement.
Today, I want to announce officially that the threat to go on strike is fully discarded, because our interest and the reason why we were calling the strike has been fully fulfilled. I want to appeal to all civil servants that let them now, from today, consider the CBA fully implemented.
In the CBA, civil servants also negotiated a review of their house allowances. Government employees in the high job groups such as T, S and R are set to receive 80,000, 60,000 and 50,000 respectively for those living in Nairobi. For the lowest cadre in job group C, D and E, house allowances will range between 3,750 shillings and 4,500 shillings every month. Subsequently, the Union of Kenya Civil Servants has called off the planned nationwide strike. Stephen Leto, Citizen TV.
So we take a break here on The Explainer tonight, but plenty more to come. News of the day, plus the big conversation that we are having here on The Explainer tonight is the ongoing questions regarding the university funding model. Just how does it work? What are the challenges with it? And how can you ensure equality for all learners without discrimination? How does that system work? Having that conversation live from the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. Sam, this is a matter that won't go away. Discussions we've been having for weeks over this, and that is exactly what you are going to try and get some answers on tonight.
Right, Yvonne. Indeed, we are the Assembly Hall of the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, and we have gathered here students from different universities, different years, from first year up to sixth year, and especially the first and second years, because this is the first cohort and the second cohort affected by the new university funding model. They'll be telling us their concerns. Remember, there has been questions about the banding itself, some saying that they have been categorized in the wrong band. They do not believe they should be in band 4 and 5. Some say they should be in 2 or 3. But also be hearing the answers from the representatives from the Ministry of Education. We have representation from the Higher Education Loans Board. We have representation from some of the experts coming from Usawa Agenda, for instance, Dr. Emmanuel Manyasa, and they'll be here to help us walk through this journey, especially even as we listen to the Vice Chancellor of the Jomo Kenyatta University to help us understand the reasoning behind the new university funding model, the challenges that are being addressed, the questions that are coming from the learners, what should be the answers, and because we were told that a few weeks ago the President spoke about the appeals that are being staged, what is the process in regards to that? We'll be getting those answers when we come back here.
Great. Thanks very much, Sam Gituku, who is live from my alma mater. That's the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. But let's continue to talk about that funding model now, because student leaders from universities across the country, including private institutions, are demanding for the scrapping or amendment of that new university funding model, or they paralyze learning in all universities across the country. The students are also calling for a reduction of interest charged on higher education loans from 4% to 2%. Willie Lusige reports.
A day after University of Nairobi students held demonstrations to protest the new university funding model, student leaders drawn from all public and private universities joined in demanding the scrapping of the new funding model.
Comrades, viva! Comrades, reject! Comrades, reject!
If not fully scrapped, the students want the model amended, specifically by removing the last 2 bands, which they say are punitive.
Cannot be we place students in band. If we have to place them in bands, then we should disband the band 4 and band 5. Amaje comrades? Yes. Should we disband band 4 and 5, then we will create a fair league for comrades. Otherwise, at the moment, we are saying no to the new funding model.
The students are criticizing the means testing instrument MTI used to classify students into different funding categories, saying it is riddled with data inaccuracies and inadequate grading parameters.
We want the faulty MTI to be reorganized, restructured in a very, very fathomable manner that is going to accommodate everyone.
They are also demanding to be included in the broad-based committee that President William Ruto promised to form in June to address outstanding issues with the new university funding model adopted by his government.
We want to inform them and remind them that it's high time that they must invite us to that table, and we must be part of that committee that will steer the way forward for the students at the university level.
If these demands are not met, the students have threatened to stage a national university students' protest against the model on 9th of September. Willie Lusige, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Specifically, there is green financing associated with small-scale farmers, which is adaptation and mitigation. That's about 24 billion shillings.
Equity banking on social impact investments as they launch their 3rd sustainability report.
Introducing Sour Milking Jelly from Pwani Oil Products. Sour Milking Jelly is natural and preservative-free, crafted with purity in mind, ensuring a clean, natural choice for your household needs. With its high melting point, Sour Milking Jelly stays solid, providing reliable performance whenever you need it most. The user-friendly pack allows for easy scooping until the very end. Experience the versatility and reliability of Sour Milking Jelly today. A pure and natural choice for your household needs, available at your nearest shop.
My name's Godfrey Mwirigi Minyori. I come from Meru. I'm a fan of the Aviator game. I learned about it on Citizen TV when I saw somebody that had won the game. I got interested in it and started participating. I've won quite a number of times, but this is the bigger of the wins that I have had. I like the game because it's a game that you can play anytime, anywhere, and it has no bias. And here you can see I'm getting my check for my recent win. Niko na project kadhaa zenye zinaendelea, itaingia kwa hizo project na tunashukuru kwa Aviator.
Aviator ya Shabiki.com inakupa the biggest multiplier in Kenya. Shinda up to 50,000 times your stake. Yani ukiweka stake ya 100 bob, ndege ipeperuke, unashinda 5 million within seconds. Changamkia Aviator on Shabiki.com. Not for persons under the age of 18. Authorized and regulated by BCLB license number 428.
This is the Fuso Canter. What is it about this canter that is so unique, that is so special?
Because of the reliability and the fuel consumption is very low. In terms of maintenance, we found out that even the spare parts are easily available.
Nunua lori ya Fuso Canter na upate tanki mpya ya maji ya lita 10,000. Lipa deposit ya Kenya shillings 250,000. Piga nambari 0703046000.
Welcome to Homelink Mabati Factory, your trusted partner in roofing. Place your order for box profile, V-tile, prime tile and canopy sheets and enjoy affordable prices and free delivery on 0794 800 000. Homelink Mabati Factory. We promise, we deliver.
A true friend understands your concerns and knows how important your child's education is to you. With Britham's education policies, you can save while earning interest towards your child's education, whether for primary and lower grades, high school or university. And no matter the education system, we know you want the best for them. Choose the policy that suits your needs with guaranteed payouts and life cover for any eventualities. Visit ke.britam.com or SMS Somesha to 21778. Britam is your friend for life.
Power your future and build your tomorrow at Kabarak University. Our world-class education in law, medicine and health sciences, education, business and economics, science, engineering and technology, music and media, and pharmacy, producing highly competent graduates. The 2024 intake is now open, your gateway to the most affordable, quality education in a serene environment. Join Kabarak University today and step into a future filled with endless possibilities.
We love to share our cultures, and the one thing that unites us all, that celebrates precious moments, nurtures our Kenyan spirit, welcomes, and even inspires. Our language does all of this and more. The more the milk, the better the chai. Chai kweli ina Brookside Dairy Best.
When I have back pain, I reach for 2 tablets of Panadol Extra for fast relief of strong pain, like headache, toothache, muscle pain, and I'm released from pain to be there for those who need me. Try Panadol Extra for fast and effective relief from strong pain. New Panadol Extra Soluble dissolves twice as fast versus standard paracetamol tablets.
Wezi chapa na makadi zangu kali, nimejipina wezi kosa quality ni high. Niko busy sana squeeze sipatikani, mali safi nimeziseti pakina Kasarani. For matila squeeze naitwa designer, nakafunga kwa budget si minus, vitenge mahudi hata shati za Raima.
Yeah, lazima tutafute tukafunge. Yeah, life jipe na sio kesho.
Make it happen right now, yeah.
Equity Bank Group has disbursed over 24.7 billion shillings in climate-related financing. The funds, which were both in grants and loans, were extended to projects focused on climate adaptation, water efficiency, energy efficiency, transport and renewable energy. Jimmy Mbogo was at the launch of the bank's sustainability report and takes stock of some of the investments made by the lender towards enhancing sustainability in their operations.
For the third year in a row, Equity Bank has released its sustainability report, taking account of the bank's contribution towards a sustainable world. The lender disbursed 887.4 billion shillings in loans throughout 2023, where a significant size of the funds were channeled towards sustainable projects. Equity Bank Kenya had disbursed more than 280 billion shillings. By October, the lender had disbursed 24.7 billion shillings, where 66% of which went to energy efficiency, while transport accounted for 28% of the total disbursement, as renewable energy received 6%. The lender further supported a total of 47,593 households and businesses in adopting adaptive and mitigative solutions to address the negative impact of climate change.
A significant amount of our balance sheet now has gone to green financing. Specifically, there is green financing associated with small-scale farmers, which is adaptation and mitigation. That's about 24 billion shillings. There is financing that has gone into water. That is about 18 billion shillings. And there is a significant amount that has gone to renewable energy. So all that in total, I would say we have about 280 billion shillings.
The bank has also made significant investment in social impact, with 101.8 billion shillings dedicated to initiatives designed to enhance the social economic condition of vulnerable communities while contributing to the overall well-being and economic stability of the region's bank operation. The group views sustainability as a critical part of the business, which goes hand in hand with profitability.
And so we have breaded finance such that it's not purely commercial loans. And that has helped us to be able to reduce the cost of financing and bring affordability while at the same time sustaining the aging.
It also means now beginning to think, how do we partner at scale? Partner within the business ecosystem, but with governments, with civil society, because the breadth of the issues we are currently grappling with, no one sector can solve them.
Now, as Equity Bank Group launches their third sustainability report, it is imagined that financial services alone is not enough to change lives across Africa, even as the bank calls on other financial institutions to do more than providing financial solutions. Jimmy Mbogo, Citizen TV from Karura Forest in Nairobi.
Stanbic Bank Kenya has today launched the Stanbic Money Market Fund and the Stanbic Fixed Income Fund following regulatory approval by the Capital Markets Authority earlier this year. with minimum investments of 1,000 shillings for the money market fund and $100 for the fixed income fund. The two products are designed for investors seeking to diversify their portfolios and achieve long-term growth with minimal risk and high liquidity. Clients' investments will be managed by SBG Securities Limited, a subsidiary of Stanbic Holdings. This launch marks Stanbic Bank's official entry into asset management through its newly established Insurance and Asset Management Unit, with plans to introduce more investment products in the future.
For our money market fund, the prevailing rates that will be coming to you through the press, we are upwards of 15% for shilling. Now, contrast that with the current inflation levels of about 4.4%, and you are easily talking north of 10% real return. And for the dollar, at about 5.5%, against the US inflation rates of about 2.9%, you still have headroom of at least 2 percentage points real return.
We are known in the market for structuring complex products. So we are the only ones who need to do something to move the market forward. So maybe we don't have to be the fastest. And we don't get a medal for being the fastest. But I think you get a medal for being more impactful. And there are many other, there are many asset managers today, but we will be different. We bring trust, we bring in credibility, we bring in innovation, we are interconnected globally.
I must say that this launch is not only timely, but also aligned with our strategic objective of democratizing wealth and growing the customer base within the Kenyan capital markets.
The Netherlands has affirmed its commitment in supporting Kenya in key sectors to ensure it realizes its development plans. Dutch representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs say Kenya remains a key trading partner in the African continent. Dennis Otieno is currently in the Netherlands and filed the following report.
Historical ties between Kenya and the Netherlands date back to the 60s, when the two nations began exploring areas of cooperation. The Netherlands is banking on this history as it cements its ties with Kenya.
As the Netherlands and our embassies in countries, we always seek to align with the development goals of the country that we're working in. So for Kenya, of course, I'm referring to the Vision 2030, on which we have aligned our work to cooperate together and reach something that not only benefits the Netherlands, but also Kenya.
Key sectors of focus in the relationship between the two countries include agriculture, logistics, water, health and energy.
We are already building a good basis on our bilateral relationship to keep learning from each other. And I think particularly what we discussed on economic cooperation, moving towards greener ways of transport, facilitating trade is incredibly important. And I think that's something we can learn from each other on. More specifically, in coming years, I think cold chain logistics will be absolutely crucial to enable exports of not only flowers, but also vegetables and other produce.
The Netherlands is among the top 3 global destinations of Kenyan goods and the largest in Europe. Kenyan exports to Netherlands have more than doubled over the last decade to stand at nearly 80 billion shillings in 2022.
Over the years, Kenya has enjoyed strong economic ties with the Netherlands, making it the most important trading partner in East Africa. It is against this backdrop that the Netherlands is keen on supporting Kenya in its development agenda.
Our relationship goes way back, and actually this year in February we celebrated 60 years of diplomatic relations between our two countries. And over time the relationships changed from a development